Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the LCS Power Rankings. We're heading into week two, and I'm Robert of the Game House, and I'm happy to bring you guys what I'm seeing so far. And I know these ones will probably be a little bit spicy, but hey, it's week one. There was some week one madness, and let's just jump right into it. Starting at number 10 here. Again, we have Dignitas. They were number 10 last week, and look, like this Dignitas team looks like they'll win some games this split. Are they going to be good though? No. Are they going to be challenging for one of the 8 playoff spots? Maybe. Right? Like this team doesn't look very good. Their win was generally due to a throw by Evil Geniuses. They are near the bottom in almost every statistical category, and I just don't see who they win through and how they win. Santorin looks really like slow in terms of just being behind the pace of play for almost everything, and I think Jensen's in the same area right now. I still don't really like Diamond all that much as a support, and I'm glad that Rich had a good game, but that might be his only good game of the split, considering he just got Cassante, which everybody seems to be okay at least. So we'll see. Maybe I'll eat my words on this one, but I'm not feeling Dignitas. Number 9, and this is going to be the spiciest one, is FlyQuest. And before everybody freaks out, you have to understand that they are 0-3 and they still have not played Cloud9 or Team Liquid, right? Their losses were to Golden Guardians, the only win that Golden Guardians got that week. 100 Thieves, the only win that they got that week. And TSM, also the only win that they got in week 1, right? They gave the only win to 3 teams who went 1-2. I think FlyQuest talent-wise are number 1 or 2, right? They're right there. But it's clear that whatever is happening is not clicking right now. They get a new patch. They have a very tough week still ahead of them, including, I believe, 2 games against both TL and Cloud9. It's going to be tough, to say the least. But I do think that this team is talented enough. But, guys, if they start 0-5, 0-6... 1-5. They realistically need to get 2 wins this week. I don't know where they get them. I'm not overly confident. I do think they might play Dignitas as that third game, so maybe that's their win. But right now, again, these power rankings are weekly, so right now, FlyQuest are at the bottom right now. They're 0-3, and they did not look good in any of their games. I interviewed Hanster. You can check that out on the channel a couple days ago, and he specifically said it did not feel like FlyQuest wanted to be there. They were not playing very well, so it's not great. Number 8 is 100 Thieves. Boy, oh boy, did this team look rough. They got their first win. That looked good, and then their last 2 games, they got a combined 6 kills. I understand that Nuke Duck was playing for them, but he's only a year removed. He wasn't a bad mid laner. They just don't look in sync whatsoever, and it's pretty obvious how they're playing right now. It's the Doublelift show. If people can shut down or at least contain Doublelift, excuse me, that's enough for these teams. Excuse me. That is enough for these teams to take wins, and it looks like Quid's going to be coming back to be their starting mid laner. Maybe they'll have a little bit more synergy with him, but him coming back, late, I will say, and them already being 1-2, I'm not super hopeful for their weeks going forward. Again, another team that I think is better than these standings, but if we're looking at power rankings right now, who their wins are against, who their losses are against, and how they looked in those games, they're going to have to sit at 8. Sitting at 7 is going to be TSM. They were in 8th last week, and considering how everybody thought they were going to play, TSM looked okay. They got a nice win against FlyQuest where I think they played with confidence. And Insanity had a really good game. I hope he's named the starter for the rest of the split. But TSM are kind of going to become predictable draft-wise if they're not careful. And I don't know that they have the firepower between Boogie, Insanity, and Wild Turtle to be able to recover from that. So Revan's going to have to be a lot better in the draft. And he's going to potentially need to get Hans or something that's a little different than Malphite. I don't know. He just didn't seem all that excited to play it, and I can't really blame him. It makes big plays, but I don't know. The team's got to make some changes if they want to climb up these power rankings and be more than just a barely there playoff team. Heading into number 6, we have Immortals. And listen, I get it. They went 2-1, but they're still not a team that I have a lot of confidence in. They had a comeback win against NRG, and they were able to take care of Dignitas. That's nothing really to be overly excited about. NRG, I think, were way far ahead. They threw the game. They just played sloppily at the end. I think Immortals should have easily been 1-2 with their only win being over a not very good Dignitas team. You watch the Team Liquid game, and it was pretty clear that there's a distinct difference between how well Immortals played in their first game and how good they actually are as a team. There's still the opportunity for them to, I think, be better than people think, and it's really going to come down to Treats and Kenvi for me. But I think the ceiling for this team is very, very limited, and 6th place may be about it for them. Looking forward, we go to NRG. After 2 crushing losses, NRG went out and took all their frustration out on 100 Thieves and absolutely smoked them. I think NRG should have been 2-1 had they not thrown against Immortals, as I alluded to earlier. And they have a really big test this coming week against Cloud9 and Team Liquid. But if they can split, if they can win one of those 2 games and end up 2-1, finishing 3-3 for the first 2 weeks, I think this NRG team is really dangerous. The core of CLG has stuck together. They brought in what I believe is a better duo in the bot lane than what they had previously. I think this NRG team, is much better than people think they are. And they are a team that I'm really interested in just seeing what their next levels can be. Unlike Immortals, I don't think NRG are even close to reaching what their ceiling should be. Now you'll see here, at number 4, we got Golden Guardians, another 1-2 team. The slim pickings when it came to power rankings this week. A lot of teams that should have been better who weren't, and a lot of teams that struggled. But even in their 2 losses, Golden Guardians played really well. And they played C9 better than anybody else this week. I know they've played them like 15 bajillion times, it feels like, in the last couple of months. But they really were the only ones to kind of keep things close. Blabber, in my interview with him, talked about the fact that, that game was really close, actually. Golden Guardians weren't giving them an inch, and then, once one team won a fight, essentially the game was over. But it's really going to come down to Gory and River to be better. I think this Golden Guardians team is going to be fine. I think they are going to be still a top, 3-4 team here once we get through the rest of the split. But it's going to... Gory and River didn't look great in week 1. We'll have to see what they do in week 2. If they can get back to being, I believe, the best mid jungle duo in the LCS, or at least close to it, with Eminez and Blabber, then the sky's the limit for this team and where they can go. All right, here are my top 3 for the week. Evil Geniuses. They were 7th last week, and surprise, Jojo Pyun is back, guys. Like, everything we were talking about in the LCK, how he was, or not in the LCK, but over in Korea, he's playing solo queue. He's just ripping everybody to shreds, and he brought that onto the Rift. And I think he's got a really good team surrounding him, just in terms of ones that can support his style of play, right? I think Revenge can do what he needs to do, but I also, to be a good weak side laner, but I think they can give him power at times, and I believe that can make him a much more dangerous option than he was with Immortals. I think our Mayo is perfect for Jojo Pyun. He does not care about kills. He does not care about deaths. All he cares about is winning, and he understands that Jojo Pyun is the player that they have to be able to play through in order to win. With him, with our Mayo coming back, I think it's got to be him. I think he is going to be the key to their success. If he can prop up Jojo Pyun, then I think they're going to be good. Lastly, I just got to give a shout out to Unforgiven. It's good to see him back in a major region. I still don't think he's as great as everybody thinks he is, but I think he has absolutely a chance to be a top 5 LCS bot laner, and that can be enough to keep Evil Geniuses fighting for a higher position than many would have expected. Last 2 here, Team Liquid at number 2. I know they went 3-0, and they looked solid in pretty much every game. They lead the LCS in kills. They lead the LCS in goal differential at 15. They have the least amount of deaths. and they've gotten first blood in all three of their games. And this is significant because, Pioshik, Harry, Summit especially, and Jan, they were all dying like a lot. And now they're dying not a lot, and they're playing much better team fighting, or team fights, excuse me, than they were before. The TSM game was little, week one madness. TSM were able to stay with Team Liquid, but I think overall we saw a much better version as the week went on. I expect as this split goes on, Team Liquid are only going to get better, and I truly think they're going to be challenging Cloud9, especially when they get a chance to play each other for that top spot. Lastly, the Kings of the LCS, Cloud9, all hail them. Put the crown on them. Let's put Blabber into that best jungler of all time. He told me, he hopes to win 4 splits in a row. It's really hard to do. I think this Cloud9 team has the opportunity to do it. They didn't even necessarily look amazing, but they were just so strong overall. Berserker died one time yet again. He just, he gets through his laning phase, and he's relatively strong in laning phase, but then it's just like he flips a switch in one fight, and the next thing you know, the game's over, right? Like, Berserker is playing out of his mind yet again. Eminez is only going to get stronger. Blabber, I think, has been really helping his team, like, in such a significant way. Like, he may not end up being the MVP, but I think he needs to be in consideration yet again this split. And while Fudge has looked a little bit weaker than I would have thought, we know him. He can turn it on whenever he wants to. This team is really, really strong. They're going to be tough to beat, and I'm interested to see how everybody tries to handle them, where they try to attack them. I still think mid lane might be the way to go, although Eminez I know is really strong. I still think he can tilt maybe a little bit. So I'll be interested to see how teams handle Cloud9, because right now they have the makings to be a team that just kind of sweeps through the LCS on their way to Worlds. So we'll have to see. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section what you think. What did I miss? Who do you think the best team is in the LCS? And yeah, with that, I'll catch you guys on the next one.